Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. So we've seen a lot of indecisive movement, I think, for the crypto market, and indecisive for those who may kind of have just gotten into this space, who may have never experienced a full cycle before. I'm going to talk a little bit about the price of Bitcoin, the price of XRP, the entire crypto market, guys, and we're going to take a look at some trends today that may put some fears you may have about the direction of where crypto is going into check. So first I want to take a look at the crypto market, guys. Crypto market still holding fairly strong, over $2 trillion. Of course, there are many cryptocurrencies in the crypto market, over 11,800 cryptocurrencies. And we got to take a look at Bitcoin dominance too, right? Bitcoin dominance plays a large part of this. Bitcoin dominance still holding at around 41.5%. So then we got the main cryptocurrencies by market cap. We got Bitcoin trading at around 44,600, down about 3%. Ethereum down about 6%, trading at about 3,200. Cardano down over 8%, trading at 239. We've got Binance Coin, XRP in number 6, overtaking Solana again. Now, Solana just came down quite significantly, down over 12%, almost 12.5% to about $158.20. But we got XRP here in number 6, $1.05. And so a bit of a red day today. I know we have seen significant green days for the crypto space. I mean, we have been in a bull market since March of 2020. I don't think many could argue against that. But, you know, it's this indecisiveness, right? It's this, what we're feeling like right now is Bitcoin not making any substantial moves to the upside or to the downside to kind of give us a clear direction of where the crypto market's going. Of course, you know, we did see this high for Bitcoin, $65,000, and it seems like eons ago. We saw that back in mid-April. Then Bitcoin dipped down to these lows over the summer, right? Coming below $30,000. So again, guys, that was a significant decrease for Bitcoin. A 56% decrease for Bitcoin over that short period of time. Then we saw the crypto market move back up. Of course, we are not making new highs. And so now we're trading in and around here, $44,600. And I totally understand where some of you may think, okay, maybe we have already seen the high for Bitcoin. Maybe we are not getting any higher than this. And maybe, you know, this 0.702 retracement, maybe we're almost there. Or, I mean, maybe we have already kind of made that final leg up and now Bitcoin is going to come falling down. So again, guys, I'm going to mention this. There are some things I want to talk about today. Altcoin Daily saying, why is Bitcoin dipping so hard? So just showing us the extended chart for Bitcoin pattern since 2011, 2012, the last two bull runs that we've seen. And it was when I was looking at this chart kind of on the macro level that it kind of struck me, aha! There is something in this chart that I am going to discuss with you guys a bit later. Lark Davis here saying Bitcoin could be getting ready for a retest to the lower 40s. Now, this was posted just around midnight last night. And so with regards to that lower 40s, could we come back in and around the 0.382, right? In and around here, that would bring Bitcoin price to about $42,500. Conversely, we could come even lower than that. Of course, we have seen support. Old resistance could form new support. So, I mean, it could be that we bounce in and around, you know, somewhere in here before Bitcoin comes back up. And so I guess the biggest fear is for this to just come crashing back down. Nobody really wants to see that. Obviously, nobody really wants to see Bitcoin make a lower low than this. Because if we did see Bitcoin make a lower low than the low we saw back at the end of June at about $28,600 or so, then that, I think, is a confirmation that we are actually going to make lower lows, unfortunately. So this is a critical level. Right here, I'm going to tell you guys right now, this is a critical level. We are not even close to that yet. So the 702, looking to get above that. This is positive, obviously. We're just ranging right now. And so instead of scribbling up this chart, I want to give you guys some context as well. Let's not forget, guys, El Salvador. They recently just passed a law that would allow Bitcoin to be legal tender in that country. And there's some more news here coming on. I mean, this is an ever-developing story. The government now of El Salvador has reportedly exempt investors from paying a capital gains tax on an income tax on Bitcoin, according to a presidential legal counsel. So This is what's going on there. Javier Argueta, a legal advisor to President Nayib Bukele, is looking to encourage foreign investment through major tax breaks on Bitcoin. Agence France Presse reported on September 10th, if a person has assets in Bitcoin and makes high profits, there will be no tax. This is done obviously to encourage foreign investment. He said, adding that El Salvador will impose no taxes on either the capital gains increase or the income. Argueta reportedly noted that the Salvadorian government would be actively tracing Bitcoin transactions on El Salvador's official Bitcoin wallet, Chivo, to combat the potential illegal use of the cryptocurrency. We are implementing a series of recommendations from international institutions against money laundering, he said. The Chivo wallet would also temporarily halt Bitcoin transactions on the application if Bitcoin value collapsed to minimize the impact of extreme volatility or price fluctuations. So that is interesting as well. They are actually looking to temporarily halt Bitcoin transactions to minimize the impact of, or rather extreme volatility of price fluctuations. So on the surface, it sounds as though it is a means to help protect citizens from the extreme volatility of Bitcoin, and therefore, if the price plummets and you're going to be paying more in Bitcoin, they are actually looking to mitigate that, which is an interesting way to do this. I suppose the people of, I've talked about this on this channel, the people of El Salvador, some of them, there have been rallying in the streets against the use of Bitcoin as legal tender in this country. And so it sounds as though they are putting in some mechanisms to help mitigate this and trying to make this all work. So there's that. There's also this from the Cryptic Poet, guys. Ukraine is set to become the next country to make Bitcoin legal tender. So this just out. It is understood delegates from President Volodymyr Zelensky's government have met with counterparts in El Salvador ahead of creating a plan to put cryptocurrency adoption at the top of the Eastern European giant's financial agenda. So Zelensky, a vocal Bitcoin evangelist, has already instructed ministers to transform Ukraine into a crypto-friendly nation. Since last week, the 43-year-old politician was in California on a fact-finding mission as he toured Silicon Valley, and he has a plan. Apparently, it's for Ukraine to make Bitcoin legal tender by the start of the year 2023 and create a dual currency country where Bitcoin sits alongside the fiat of that country, which is the hryvnia, before potentially being phased in as the dominant financial structure. Ukraine is a natural fit for such a plan, said the Russian financial expert. The people of the Ukraine are not only prepared for a financial revolution, they are also used to it and expect it. So this is huge, guys. Another country, the Ukraine, looking to also make Bitcoin legal tender by the year 2023. Now, of course, these are countries that have obviously seen their fair share of financial strife over the years, looking for a method to help the public, and we get it. Cryptocurrency is volatile, and I get why some people are against it, but at the end of the day, if you can make payments work, now we know Bitcoin, obviously a very slow cryptocurrency. I know there's probably a lot of people on this channel right now who are probably yelling at their screen, but working money, Bitcoin is not the solution. Obviously, you can make these payments a lot faster, cheaper, right? More efficient with XRP. I'm just talking about the concept of using a cryptocurrency as a complement to fiat in these countries, and eventually perhaps as a fiat replacement. And Bitcoin obviously has got the name recognition to do so. So I'm not necessarily talking about the technology. Let's assume that the technology is there to make fast Bitcoin transactions. I'm talking about the concept of actually using Bitcoin, because this is going to affect the market, guys, as I'm going to get to in a second. So there's also this, guys, from XRP. Crypto Wolf, Zimbabwe finance minister urges citizens to invest in crypto. Another country here, the use of cryptocurrency is rising around the world, obviously. And so Muthi Ncube was recently at the DMCC Crypto Center in Dubai, where he was inspired by solutions to lower the cost of remitting funds. Ncube noted, I visited the DMCC Crypto Center in Dubai, which is a fascinating incubation hub for cryptocurrency and payment solutions. Came across solutions that could lower charges for diaspora remittances. According to the World Bank, the Zimbabwean diaspora spends up to $90 million in remittance fees. This was not the first time the finance minister has supported crypto. A couple of years back, Ncube had urged its citizens, or rather had urged the citizens to invest in understanding emerging innovations like Bitcoin, and also told authorities to mimic countries like Switzerland, which were investing in and understanding Bitcoin. So, in Zimbabwe looking to promote the use of cryptocurrencies and investing in such vehicles. While such statements from the authorities were appreciated by some within the crypto community, some others were questioning the minister's late realization. And so this CEO of Flex Fintechs, Victor Magpunga, said, we already have blockchain and crypto companies in Zimbabwe like Flex Fintechs, and they already work with local players. But I don't think this is so much about blockchain technology and remittances as much as the Zimbabwean's finance minister wants to make it out to be. We're talking about the opportunity to get citizens of these poor countries to invest in cryptocurrency and thereby elevate their wealth over the next 3 or 4 years if we do see similar cycles in cryptocurrency as we've seen in the past. And so just to give you guys a little bit of context with regards to Zimbabwe in particular, hyperinflation in Zimbabwe was a period of currency instability in Zimbabwe that used the Kagan's definition of hyperinflation, which began in February of 2007. During the height of inflation from 2008 to 2009, it was difficult to measure Zimbabwe's hyperinflation because the government stopped filing official inflation statistics. However, Zimbabwe's peak month of inflation is estimated at 79.6 billion%. Month on month, 89.7 sextillion% year on year in mid-November of 2008. So 89.7 sextillion%. I can't even wrap my head around that number. That is how much the hyperinflation in the country of Zimbabwe has basically decimated their dollar. And so, over the years we've heard of, Zimbabweans carrying wheelbarrows of money to the store, like $25 million notes to buy a loaf of bread. Wheelbarrows of these notes. And so just to this point, right, we have to kind of understand the socio-political, financial history of some of these countries to understand perhaps why these governments are now saying, yeah, look, guys, invest in Bitcoin, invest in other cryptocurrencies. We're giving you our blessing. This is something that you need to do. And so, right, the whole world is emerging into a new financial structure, the way things are going to be structured. And I think, some of these governments and some of these countries are realizing this is our opportunity. So let's promote this. Let's promote investing in Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies for the people. Now, on the other side of this, we also have this from Michael at Val5 Links. Moody's Investor Service latest report warns financial institutions that the widespread of adoption of CBDCs may cause credit negative for banks in lieu of lower fees and commissions. Meanwhile, in the West, they are looking at CBDCs. The Bank for International Settlement began its first round of trials for cross-border CBDC settlements in collaboration with the central banks of Singapore, Malaysia, Australia, and South Africa. The BIS and central banks collaboration is called Project Dunbar. The project is focused on building a platform that allows settlement in multiple CBDCs, as we know. But here's a quote, guys. Here are some findings. It is uncertain if the platform prototypes developed under the Dunbar project will be adopted by other central banks. However, the BIS expects that the results of this project will guide the development of global and regional platforms for more efficient cross-border payments. But what these guys are worried about is a lack of profit. At the beginning of 2021, the central banks of Singapore and France had already been successful in testing their dual CBDC cross-border transactions. Moody's report also emphasized that revenue generation for banks from cross-border is massive and that the Dunbar project could hamper the former profit margins. According to the transaction figures from the consultancy firm McKinsey, banks generated about $230 billion in revenue from cross-border transactions in 2019 globally. Additionally, banks also earned about $60 billion in revenue in customer businesses in 2019 for cross-border transactions, such as remittances, where the banks charge hefty fees. So now they're realizing, I don't know why it took them so long, CBDC transfers through mechanisms like the XRPL. Of course, we know Ripple has provided solutions for some of these central banks to run on a private version of the XRP ledger. And if they are going to do so, we know XRP, obviously very speedy, very efficient, cheap to transact in. And so we're looking at this and we're saying to ourselves, or they're saying to themselves, well, is all this profit margin going to be abolished if we decide to go this way? Let's not forget, this isn't just one bank making a decision. This is a global network of banks that'll be running on CBDC. So they got to look at the data. They got to look at what is at stake here. And so, it's funny to see that the problems in these more developed countries is surrounding the efficiency and, some may say maybe it's too efficient at this moment in time, and maybe this is why we have seen so much pushback for Ripple and XRP thus far. Maybe this is why the SEC is trying to thwart Ripple's plans in court. Maybe it's part of the reason. Meanwhile, in other parts of the world, we're seeing countries like Zimbabwe urging their citizens to invest in Bitcoin. Same thing with Ukraine, looking to make Bitcoin legal tender. And of course, we all know about El Salvador as well, already making Bitcoin legal tender. So the long and the short of it remains, guys, Bitcoin here to stay for the long term. And, even though the price is kind of swaying, a little bit here, a little bit there, want to get back to this altcoin daily tweet here with regards to this chart. And what I'm seeing up here, guys, is not similar to what we saw right after the peaks of the last two bull runs. Over here, you guys can see this shape, very different than the shape we're seeing over here. And even this bull run here from back in 2013, the shape of this collapse, very different than what we're seeing over here. So my bet would be that we are not ready to make lower lows just yet. I do not think that this is the case. What I do think is we are indeed waiting for this new high. We haven't even butt up against the 0.702 yet, and that right now we are just kind of ranging. And we might range for a while, we might not. Here's a good indication though, guys, that we're still on track for Q4 2021, perhaps early 2022 to top out that bull run. So I'm going to take the same Bitcoin chart, guys, zoom it right out here, and I'm going to go way back here, guys, way back to this point in time here, where we saw that push up in mid-2013 before we finally topped out over here, guys. And I'm going to take this fractal from this point over here, all right? And I'm going to bring it to today. So I'm going to drag that over here, and I'm going to bring that over here, guys. And the thing I wanted to show you is not so much the levels, but more or less the general swings in price movement. So if we can take a look at the top and the top. Okay, price then dipped down, so the down would be in and around here, came right back up, did not make a new high, came right back up, did not make a new high, then a bit of a retrace, up, new low, match this low, okay, bit of a retrace, up, new low, match this low, and this is getting a bit messy, but hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing here. Now we're starting to march our way back up, okay, and I'm going to take this off auto to just kind of show you where we're at this point in time. So again, the levels don't match up, but the structure is very similar to what we saw mid-2013 before this final pump up. And guys, this is where we're at right now. Look at what happened back in 2013. A move down could bring us to here, okay? So I just want to get this out of the way now because I wish there was a way where I could just, see, I'm drawing all over this thing, but I think you guys get the point. Let me just get rid of this, all this stuff here, because, and you can rewind the video if you want to look back at what I drew on the chart there. But if you just look at that fractal, right, you can see this move down kind of matched up with this level here, okay, this old level of resistance. So could it be that Bitcoin could hit that $36,000 level, move right back down here? This would be the moment of panic. But down and around here, this was the launching point. At least it was back in 2013 for Bitcoin to make newer highs. And so the theory goes as such, launching point for Bitcoin to make newer highs. Real quick here too, guys, with Bitcoin dominance. So I got the Bitcoin dominance chart up here, and you guys can see level of support back from 2018 before the dominance went right back up. Whoops. Dominance went right back up in 2018. Well, we are hovering in these levels here, and we are forming a double bounce. Question is, are we going to see the dominance? Are we going to see the dominance go back up yet, or are we going to plummet even further to what we saw back over here in 2017? And chances are we could reach this level down here, right? This low level of Bitcoin dominance heading down around 35%. And so we still have to get in and around here. Of course, this trend looking like it could break to the downside. The other thing I wanted to mention, the XRP chart on the daily zoomed out, taking this fractal again from 2017, bringing it over here. And I know I've talked about this on this channel in the past, this idea that XRP is really poised and really set to kind of blast off as well, right? And what have I said in the past, right? This blast off, launching off point here would bring us around November 9th, November 8th, November 9th, give or take 2021. Now, again, we don't really know. This is why I'm keeping it broad. This is why I'm continually saying Q4 2021 or Q1 2022, because, I mean, this could go off a bit. It could happen sooner. It could happen later. We kind of really don't know. At the end of the day, though, just to get a sense of where we could go at what point in time, it's going to be, and this is just my opinion, Q4 of 2021, Q1 of 2022. This is when we're going to see the highs. We don't know exactly which day, but it is interesting to note, guys, this blast off point, again, November 9th, 2021. And when I bring us back to the Bitcoin chart over here, and I just wanted to clear some of this off just to give you guys a clear view of what I'm looking at here. Clear some of these squiggles off over here. All right, let's just get rid of some of these. Boy, okay, go, 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 go. Okay, so we got that same fractal on here, clear on the chart. And if I put the top of that fractal from back in mid-2013 to the top over here, again, I'm not looking at the levels, I'm just looking at the time frame, guys. You can see, bringing it over here, right, that blast off point right over here, getting past this high for Bitcoin right over here. Okay, you know where that brings us? November 10th, 2021. So even from a time perspective, and I hate to say this because, you know I'm going to get grilled. If something doesn't happen on November 9th or November 10th, 2021, I'm going to get it in the comments. I'm not saying it's going to happen, guys. What I am saying, though, is that these time frames do match up, even from an historical fractal standpoint. So Q4 2021, Q1 2022, I still think we're on track, even if we do see Bitcoin go as low as 36,000 in the meantime. And I mean, guys, you don't have to take it from me. Take it from Raul Pal. This brought to us by Carbino Capital here on Twitter. Listen to this.
Money to retire on. But I want to look through the eyes of the millennials. So they are 32 years old. At the same age, their parents at 32, the baby boomers, had all-time cheap valuations of equities, all-time cheap bonds, all-time cheap credit, all-time cheap property, right? So they couldn't help but make money. They kind of screwed it up because they actually ended up going into debt as well. But they couldn't help but make money. So then the millennials had the opposite, all-time record valuations of equities, all-time record valuation for bonds, all-time record credit, all-time record highs in property. So I'm like, these guys are screwed unless something else comes along. And that thing is crypto. Because the future expected return of crypto, it's been growing at 213% a year in returns. That's how much it makes, even though it's very volatile. Sometimes it's down to 70%. Over time, you're making 213% a year. It has grown as an asset. It's gone up. I think it's 2 million% since inception. No other asset in all recorded history has ever done this. And we haven't even started. I still think there's probably another 100x from here. Not even the baby boomers got given that. The S&P didn't go up 100x since 1980. So this is the magnitude of what's there. So I'm screaming from the rooftops saying, you might be cynical. You might think you don't understand it. You might think you can't afford to play in this, but you have to listen because this is the opportunity. You can't come back to me in 10 years' time and say, well, we missed all of that. All the rich people got richer. No, you, I, everybody else is saying, now is your time. Don't be irresponsible, dollar cost average, do all the right things, but here is your opportunity. This is the biggest opportunity I've ever seen, and I'm going to take advantage of it, and so should everybody else. This is not rich or poor. This is an every person opportunity, and we've never had this before.
So just a clip there from Raul Pal giving his opinion on this opportunity that we have seen. I know I'm probably preaching to the choir here, but it also just kind of puts into perspective why we're seeing these governments do what they're doing and why we should be paying close attention to this asset that is going to change lives and turn wealth into generational wealth. The final leg up for Bitcoin is on the doorstep, and that just means altcoins next to rally. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.